जिनके कुछ लेना देना नहीं है। ऐसा कोई व्यक्ति भी रहता है किसी तरह जो है उसमें लाने की या उसे प्रचार करने की चेष्टा करते हुए था। तो इसलिए हाल ही में मैंने इस मामला जो है वो दृढ़ता से अपनाने की कोशिश किया।
Auntie, please show me. Auntie?
Hold on just a minute.
Please show me.
Just a minute.
मेरा यही निवेदन है कि परसों जो विस्तार से निवेदन किया था कि वो ऐसा कोई परिस्थिति है तो प्रेशर से अपने स्थान को छोड़ करके आप जा सकते हैं। आपके लिए कोई व्यवस्था नहीं है कि अभी के निगरानी करने के लिए वो बदल करके एक समय ऐसा ना आ जाए कि जो लोग जो है भगवान की उपदेश के नाम पर भूत प्रेत को पसंद कर लेती है कि हमारी जो धार्मिक परंपरा से खासतौर पर जैसी बढ़ती धार्मिक परंपरा है वो सभी एक दूसरे से मिल करके हमें आगे बढ़ना चाहिए और उसकी रक्षा करना चाहिए। तो ऐसे समय में यदि ये बात जो है एक दूसरे के बीच में कूद करने वाले अंदर करने वाले ऐसा कोई बात आ जाए तो ये बहुत खतरनाक बात है। और तीसरी बात ये है कि जब से ये दलाई लामा का शासन की बस में बना जिसे हम मंदिर पदों के नाम से जानते हैं तो उसकी शुरुआत के इतिहास से और इस देश के कुछ संबंध है। तो इसके इतिहासिक कारण होने के कारण जो आज जो दलाई लामा के जो शासन है उसके रूप में जा रहा है उसमें निबंध करने की चेष्टा हो रहा है। उसमें जो है वो जो कार्यक्रम है उसको न चला देने की चेष्टा हो रहा है। तो इसी के कारण जो है मैंने ये हैरान आपको नहीं आता है के जो आज में करना छोड़ दें, चराई देना छोड़ देंगे, ऐसा मुझे कहने वाले भी बहुत से लोग आए हैं इस इलाके के। मुझे प्रसन्नता है, अच्छी बात है, वे लोग बात को समझ रहे हैं और मेरी इसमें कोई व्यक्तिगत रुचि जो है इसमें कुछ नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं एक साधारण एक जो है इंसान, एक अकेला बौद्ध भिक्षु के लिए मैं हर समय शून्यता की भावना करने की चेष्टा करता हूँ, बौद्धिक की उत्पत्ति और अभ्यास करने की चेष्टा करता हूँ। तो ऐसे एक व्यक्ति के लिए तो यदि ये पूरे संसार ही मेरे दुश्मन बन जाए तो भी मेरा कोई बिगड़ने वाला नहीं है। तो इसलिए मेरी व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे इसमें लेना देना नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी मैं इस बात को इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि मुझे डर है कि जो आज की तिब्बत की समस्या है उसको सुलझाने में ये बहुत ही घातक सिद्ध होता है, ये बहुत ही बड़ा रुकावट बन सकती है। इसकी शुरुआत में हमें विधान करना है, क्योंकि ऐसा कोई भूत प्रेत या इस तरह के जो कुछ ऐसा अच्छी हो सकता है जो कि हमारे पूरे धर्म को संपूर्ण होने में बाधा करने की चेष्टा कर रहा हूँ, तो उसे शांत करने के लिए ये पूरी धर्म की धर्म जो है वो
Initially in number 13. And this tent was really groovy. The nuns were actually next door, and the Inchis, like myself, were in 13. It has bathrooms and running water. It was nuts. But the best thing about it is the location. Of course, most impressive was what greeted me when I came out in the morning. Wish it were overcast today. But this impressive monolith is actually quite incredible.
야마들로 타는 거지. 나하게 다시 야마들로 돼야. एने
जैसे जो आचार्य संस्थापा ने कहा है कि यदि एक इंसान सामान्य साधना के लिए अभ्यास के लिए उपयुक्त हो जाता है उसके बाद दोनों की अभ्यास जो है वो एक व्यक्ति एक ही समय पर एक ही ज्ञान के द्वारा हो सकता है ये की विशेषता है तो इसलिए यहाँ पर हमें सामान्य अभ्यास से तिब्बत में कैसे हुआ, तिब्बत में ये परंपरा आज तक कैसे है, इसका हो जाता है। ये मानता हूँ कि इसका इतिहास वो हमारे लिए एक बहुत ही समस्या नहीं है। अब ये हमारे हमको ये देखना है कि व्यवहारिक रूप में इस तंत्र को के अभ्यास करके, इसकी साधना करके जो एक तिब्बती परंपरा आज होती है, और कई लोग जो है इसके साधना के द्वारा जो बहुत ही
Okay, that's the front door of our tent. And right next door would be our kitchen setup. The running water being executed by 2 people. Thank you so much. And these fabulous little stoves are the biggest pain in the butt that ever lived. But soon you'll see how this little kitchen becomes produces amazing works of art. Okay, culinary excellence. Let's take a look around the tent. Now, in the middle, we are actually creating banners for Jonyon Chilling Institute for Buddhist Women Nunneries. If you'd like to send donations, I'll give you the address. This is all the nuns' things. Oh, this is the coolest tent, though. And in the corner, we have our fabulous little, I believe it's a plum tree. The landlady insisting that we take care of it because it is going to be one of the only ways that she gets fruit here. There's our altar. I can see part of it.
Can you zoom with that?
Yeah.
Let's see you zoom.
Okay, never mind. She closed her mouth. This is...
Shay, you don't shave your armpits. No, I don't.
Shay, yes.
Are you a dancer, Shay?
Don't make me laugh. I'm trying to photograph
My family
you.
still asks me if I'm going to be a solid gold dancer.
A what dancer?
Solid gold dancer.
Solid gold.
What? You know that show? Solid gold.
And we're the, like...
Get my friends also. How much were they? They were rip-roaring 10 rupees.
Yikes.
Wow.
Hey, so who's on there? You gotta describe it for the camera.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama in triplicate. With Gautama Buddha on the back. Sold by a Hindu merchant.
But we are. Of
Who
course,
said-
of course.
I do not know what this is, madam, but they say this Dalai Lama.
Did he really say that?
That's nice. Now who's the Dalai Lama?
Who's the Dalai Lama? Just turn your camera off with that question.
Come on, you gotta explain it. That's the reason I got it on.
Dalai Lama is this kernel. Dalai Lama is the spiritual leader of the Tibetan people.
You're so retarded.
Exile, and he's the head of the Tibetan Buddhist sect.
Wait, can you repeat that?
He's the Dalai Lama is the head of the Tibetan people, in particularly Tibetan people, political head, Tibetan people in exile in India, and he's the spiritual leader of the Gelugpa sect of Tibetan Buddhism.
How many sects of Tibetan Buddhism are there?
Well, there are 5 major ones.
Do you know what they're called?
Do I know what they're called? Do you know what they're called?
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking you.
There's Sakya, Gelugpa, Kagyu, Nyingma, and what else? Kadampa. Some people also say Kadampa. There's also a form of Tibetan Buddhism called Pön, which some people consider to be the older form, pre-Tibetan Buddhism. Most people think that it's syncretic now, which means that it's a mixture of Tibetan Buddhism and pre-Tibetan Buddhist religion.
Okay, Yvonne, tell me why this is the 14th Dalai Lama.
It's the 14th reincarnation.
So he's just come around again? Is there any is there any time period between these people?
Depends on how much of time period is there actually. Between the time your discovery is one thing. 6 years old before you got discovered.
You can go into Bardo for anywhere up to 49 days. So once you die, you go into Bardo for up to 49 days, and then you reincarnate. You can reincarnate immediately.
So you have to reincarnate very quickly after you die.
And then
So
once
there isn't a 2-year lapse or a 3-year lapse.
Well, there can be a 2 or 3 year lapse in the sense that you can't find the child, and you can't tell who the child is. So lots of times there is a 3 or 4 year lapse.
Between designation, but not in terms of reincarnation.
No, not in terms of reincarnation. The reincarnation is actually taking place.
Well, I thought.
By the 49th day.
Okay, is he a Buddha then?
He's a bodhisattva, and bodhisattvas are Buddhas. So,
Okay, what's the distinction between the two?
you know, Buddhas.
Buddha is when you go ahead and enter enlightenment, right? Bodhisattva is whenever you stay
Come
back to
as bodhisattva to help other people.
right.
Okay, so there's a choice
Choose not
going
to-
on?
You choose not to give up your experience in samsara. So you can
To help
benefit
other sentients.
That's why, for example, the Dalai Lama said that I might not reincarnate. Remember
Which
that?
Dalai Lama?
14th Dalai Lama.
This
Okay.
Dalai
This
Lama
Dalai
might not
Lama
reincarnate.
stated about, 5-6
Years ago, much
that he, much to the dismay of the entire population, that his role as a bodhisattva was to help the Tibetan people, and if he would no longer be helping the Tibetan people, remember that? That he would not reincarnate, and the Tibetans were extremely upset. He
As one might
retracted
be.
that. Yeah, he retracted that pretty quickly because they were so upset about that.
Well, I mean, he's also the political, head too. So if he disappeared, that would be kind of a.
Well, he's also done that. He's also stated that he will no longer be the political head. He did that about 3 or 4 years ago as well. That he stated that he wanted to be the head of the. Remember, he wanted to be the head of the religion,
but not.
and have the Tibetan people in exile take over as the political leaders, create their own internal democracy, and they were furious about that. And they all
Wasn't
said,
their idea.
"We don't want democracy.
We want you."
If we can't have you as our leader." Remember that?
Yeah. The only trouble is that
That was
very
great.
leader dependent. As long as you have a good leader.
So, and then I was thinking today about what the difference is between life in Spiti is like, even for us, but also for people from Spiti, and what we consider to be stressful modern American life, right? And so I sat down today before I went out and interviewed and thought about all the different things that are not happening to us on a daily basis here. And I wrote them all down. We're not ever looking at television, right? We're never listening to the radio, although we have this wonderful loudspeaker that's going on all the time. We have no or little telephone. We're never using the telephone. We're never looking at a newspaper. Every morning we sit and look at a newspaper or ask people about things, right? And we basically have no information of any kind about the outside world, which is really interesting. We spend a lot of our time thinking about things that go on in other states, things that go on in Washington, D.C., things that go on in other parts of the world. We're never using a form of transportation. We're walking everywhere, and so are most of the people here. We have a camping-style existence, right? We're washing and showering. It takes a long time to do those things. We have basic tasks take a long time. We have really limited clothing. There's no need to be clean all the time to perform whatever we're doing.
No one else is.
and we're very much tied to nature and weather. Because the weather is what we're thinking about all the time. Right? We're worried about the weather. We're thinking about what's happening. We're not reading and we're not writing much. We're not interacting at all with printed material, which is something I do at least for half of my day at home. There's a real indefiniteness of timing of events and occurrences. You know, we're not watching really the clock all the time. We're waking up when we wake up.
I didn't even bring a watch. That's how lame I am.
We have a very limited food repertoire. We have no choice of any kind with respect to food, really. And meals are always at particular times on a daily basis. And we have a limited repertoire of snacks. And when you think of the things that we do, we're always talking about the different snacks or things that we might do. We're
Keeping in mind we just scarfed down a Crunch bar.
Little shopping, right? We're not really doing much shopping. The shopping that we would be doing is either to eat or maybe to take a present home to friends. But we're not going to the mall as the activity we're doing on Saturday. We're doing a lot.
We've just been to the market 20 times.
Well, we've been to the market.
I'm not sure that would.
But if you ask what we're doing a lot of, we're sitting and talking to people a lot. We're spending most of our time sitting and talking to people, to
And
each
discussing
other,
the teachings
and
too.
discussing the teachings.
Which I think is really important.
And we're spending no time. We do not spend any time in isolation. We're never in our own room by ourselves, ever, right? I mean, isn't that... We have very close living quarters with lots of personal interaction all the time. We're basically operating with very few material possessions generally, right? And when you think about the Spinty people, and I interviewed that fellow yesterday, he indicated that he basically didn't operate with a money economy. He was producing stuff in his fields and he was bartering for it, so he wasn't dealing in a money economy. When
Who's this guy?
Travels, he's a really neat fellow who we interviewed, who was a person of the Himalayan Buddhist Cultural Association. His name was, I think it was Khalsan Dorje. And he was very interesting because he was completely trained through high school all the way up through college and decided to come back and live in Spiti on the farm with his parents. And he does not deal with the money economy at all. They're just now growing some cash crops.
Is he like a hippie or something?
No, not at all.
Really?
He's just a Spiti person who didn't like cities and didn't like modern life, even though he has a BA in history and political science. Very interesting.
That's great.
Fellow. But he doesn't deal with the money economy. They just decided this year to plant peas and apples as a cash crop, but not a large cash crop. And he and his family always travel in groups, right? When you think about the people who are coming here, you're traveling with someone when you travel. All of us are traveling with someone. We're always in a group, doing things in a group. And the other thing is, everyone is dressing alike. In America, we spend this enormous amount of time worrying about individuating in terms of dress, right? It's exactly not what the women are doing here. The women are non-individuating most of the time in terms of dress. But think about it, if your repertoire involved turquoise, pearl, and coral jewelry, and your choice of shawl, and your choice of hat. They have maybe 3 or 4 that they could decide.
Yeah. But I think
And then you'd wear the same thing every day. Yeah. But I mean, consider that versus having to go to Macy's, right?
Pick a new shawl out of this.
Anyway, that's what I was thinking.
That's cool.
Isn't that fun? I think that's really fun. It's not the kind of nothing we talk about either with respect to stress.
Well, I mean, how are you going to apply this to...
I was just thinking.
What makes
I'm
it
going to apply it.
stressful?
Yeah, I'm going to apply it. I was just thinking about what's different. What do you think?
I just like that because there's no TV and there's no there's no TV and there's no radio, etc., that we're interacting a lot more, and the fact that there's no privacy and you really are together 24/7, I think we get along pretty darn well too.
Well, I figure for us there's less stress, but I don't know that you could assume. Because for us it's different. It's different. We're not faced with our usual
Yeah, well, we're not
sources of stress.
exactly. We're not working
But
officially.
Because we don't feel it, I don't think you can assume that other people don't feel their own form of stress.
I think that's very true.
Well, also, I think there must be a lot of stress involved with interacting with all these luxury goods and things, and knowing that if you're living off of, like, you're doing subsistence, that you can't afford to buy them. There's got to be some stress involved with that, especially if your kid's coming to you every other day saying, I want blue jeans, I want blue jeans.
You mean in America?
No, here. Because they're getting, I mean, look, they're getting bombarded with all these luxury goods and things 24/7 now. I don't know. Maybe I'm full of it. Okay, this truck that waters down the street totally floods it periodically. And that's what we're looking at, a huge puddle in the middle of, like, concert parking practically. Okay, it's extremely dusty, and ahead of us we see the fax and telephone station. The phone lines are usually down, but occasionally we can get through. Okay, this is a really dirty lens. And the exhibition center. Yeah, slowly the camera focuses because I've got it on the auto, needless to say, as I pan around here. It's pretty cool. It tells you how not to get AIDS, how to prevent vomiting, all the, health problems. Oh God, I guess I should put this filter on because it's really bloody bright. Okay, there we go. Hope that's better. It tells you how to keep the environment clean. It has agricultural exhibits. It's in a fabulous location, needless to say. And what's hysterical is that everybody wants me to photograph them. And then when I actually do, Miss Tara's in here somewhere buying carpets for her parents who trade. What's funny is that people want to be photographed and then they want me to pay them. And then I tell them they're high on crack and they go away.
I'm done.
Tape10? No.
Okay, following car around the market trying to find a skirt. Madhouse. same day that it was completely overcast and raining. Who knows? It's hard to do this when you have the hiccups. Okay, so oh my gosh, these hiccups are killing me. Here are guys hugging each other and motorcycles. On the way out of the bazaar with Miss Tara. Here's where we came into, and when we saw the sight of this gate, we almost cried because it showed that we were finally in Tabo after river crossings and the bumpiest road and changing cars in the middle of the night and the whole deal. So here we go. Okay, so these things are new. These electric lights and the whole deal. Majestic mountains and the fabulous gate entering Chavo. Okay, here's a very dirty lens. Getting a close-up of the monastery and the caves. And then only a few thousand feet above that, we have the mountains. And that's where our washing water came from. Bloody cold.
So,
Okay.
if you really wonder, should I explain what's happening?
Yeah.
But my voice is terrible.
Well, go ahead because the battery's about to go.
Okay. This is Serang Doma, and she will be going to Ladakh for 1 year medical training, studying at Sunam Nobu Memorial Hospital in Leh, and receiving training from Dr. Hadro, and Yeshi Wangwo, the health education minister for Ladakh.
Cool.
Dodi Sering has been arranging all of this for her to go.
Great. Yeah.
Philip, my brother Philip, and his friend Brian Edwards used to make up language all the time. Things like bummer, not bummer. This is
Copyrighted, huh?
And then they would start it at Santa Monica High School and it would spread to LA and then it would spread all over the country. And then they used to have some that were special, all their own, terms that only we understood, that we only understood. Like, where to get you? Right, my kids. and why'd you do it? Strictly to be sociable. And then
Strictly what?
strictly to be sociable. And then we used to have these mouse and pie fights. They turn the corner and suddenly, wham! Just like the Three Stooges. And the irony is that Yvonne now works with David Edwards, which is Brian's brother. So, and she said, yeah, I know David Edwards. This one has a perverse sense of humor. I said, indeed.
Okay, it's about 6 in the morning. There's fabulous sun. Thank God after yesterday that was so cruddy. Do a really crappy pan of the whole place because I'm so tired. Okay, so here's our fabulous town. Again. You can hear the pujad going on in the background. There's these beautiful nice, cool, spooky houses, flat roofs, for threshing your wheat. And here are all our great shoes. Actually, right now I have somebody else's shoes on. But it's kind of like that. If someone has flip-flops, you just put them on and do what you need to do. That's it. Then we have the clothesline where you put your American-style underwear. Of course, American-style underwear is at a premium, so people will steal it. That's nice. Making coffee. This whole process is really labor intensive, but it's well worthwhile. This is the neighbor who's sleeping on the roof. He's probably from a neighboring village or something. Just here to see the Kawashaka with his parents, and he wanted to be filmed. There's Dad. And there's the mom. Really good views. the plant right outside the door of the tent. And I feel like totally looking at these people. They're all just waking up. And then of course we have the monastery on the hill, which I'm hoping it's sunny. They'll come from there. Okay, here we are moving through the gate. Washing up. Not many people wash their hair in the morning. I try to make it a little bit more secretive than that. Of course I have flip-flops on, which is going to make this really unsteady. Sellers setting up, people being goofy landing on the screen. And here's the water spigot. We're all in line. There's my little white bucket right there waiting. And since I'm an inchy, I might be out of luck, but we'll try. Okay, so this is like 3 year to fill a bucket just got pushed in front of us. Since we're bored, since we're standing here waiting for the water to run, we're now like doing portraits. Here. Where's the... Yeah. 5 minutes later, still waiting. Still waiting. Okay, so play fighting here. So now we have more spawners waiting for the and then mine, and then hers. Yikes. I think that's good with all of his. Only weighs about 4 tons. Okay, so here we are, center square. Got the 4 spigots, we got about 1 kids. Everybody should be having that breakfast there. Pretty active for 7 in the morning, eh? Guys putting out their wares. Still waiting. This is not America. This is not my beautiful home. This is not my hot running water. Finally, we got the water. Everybody's still waiting. People are already going to reserve their seats. See His Holiness speak today. It's like 7:15, 7:30 in the morning. And he won't be speaking until about 12. They're going to sit there. Ooh, coffee. Local coffee. This is all mixed with Western clothes, but that's cool. That's modern, man. Can't believe it. The water's almost full. And you know we have to refill this about 6 times a day with all the nuns. And all the inchies actually trying to wash themselves.